I know what to do.
Lift up thy voice like a trumpet and show thy people their transgression. So I'm a Hebrew Israelite from the tribe of Judah. Yahawashi on our side, so don't try to move us. We got next, and this wicked king is almost over. For our people, edification, my folks, soldiers. Isaiah 58:1. Say let the trumpet blow. Hey, read them Hebrew Israelites, it's time to let them know. Say let the trumpet blow. It's time to let them know. We them Hebrew Israelites, it's time to let them know. To cry loud, spare none, show them transgressions. For my people never consider they the real Jews. History stolen with that whip, got our back bruised. Still dying in the ghettos, got us trapped in this matrix. Time to open up your eyes, it's too real. We can't fake it. The Most High's on its way back soon. The whole reason why we went into slavery, cause we broke the commandments. Deuteronomy 28 and 68. Who is this nation of people? Not the seed of Ham, but the seed of Shem. From the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Revelation 2 and 9. Don't let these fake Jews tell you a lie. In due time, they all bow down. I wanna get my crown and stand firm in this truth. Ha Mashayach Yahawashi, that's his Hebrew name. Wasn't no J's in the Hebrew letter. So I carry this truth like I carry my sweater in the winter cold. This what you ain't been told. Esau's cover blown. We let the trumpet blow and let all my ox know that you a set apart nation, ain't compared to none. And when the Most High return, these other nations done. Isaiah 14:1, we gon' possess the land, and they gon' try to cleave. And the Most High said it all is book of prophecy, a hard pill to swallow, but when that light shine, it's real bright, and the Most High is our lifeline. So Quam Yasharala, rise, O Israel. Hey, Quam Yasharala, rise, O Israel. It's time for you to wake up out your sleep. Romans 13 and 11, our salvation is near. Lift up thy voice in the streets so the whole world hear. Yeah, so I'm a Hebrew Israelite from the tribe of Judah. Yahawashi, he on our side, so don't try to move us. We got next. Hey man, this wicked kingdom is almost over. For our people, edification, my folks, soldiers. Isaiah 58:1. Say let the trumpet blow. Say we them Hebrew Israelites, it's time to let them know. Say let the trumpet blow, it's time to let them know. We them Hebrew Israelites, it's time to let them know. Hey, let the trumpet blow, it's time to let them know. We them Hebrew Israelites, it's time to let them know. Would you denounce wicked traditions or not? Go to church on pagan Sundays, don't keep the Sabbath at all. That's why we standing on these corners, get this message to y'all. That you living in a wicked world, they knowledge is flawed. Full of satanic practices, the Vatican worship the Black Madonna on the low. While we die from Planned Parenthood, this is woe. Why you think we quoting scriptures, going head up with the beast, spreading righteousness ooze, leaving our enemies duped. This institution is through. We got the spirit of a lion and the power of Yeshaya. There's no way we could expire. I'm on fire. The Messiah is the root of the fire that be all up in my bones. And the prophet ain't respected at his home, but the truth won't stop. Don't try to make us to be wrong. In the scriptures bear witness to the things that we speak. Blow them trumpets, blow them trumpets. We them Israelites, man, and we 12 tribes deep. Hear the message that we speak. Blow them trumpets, blow them trumpets. We them Israelites, man, and we 12 tribes deep. Hear the message that we speak. Well, I'm a Hebrew Israelite from the tribe of Judah. Yahawashi, he on our side, so don't try to move us. We got next. Amen.
All right. Most High bless. Brothers and sisters, give me a second. Push it in.
Shalom, shalom. Shabbat shalom. Can you hear me, my Lord?
Hey, say something. Hey, say something real. Go ahead and talk a little bit for me. Yeah, go ahead and talk a little bit for me.
Shalom, Bahashem Yahwashi Israel. Can you hear me? Go ahead and talk a little bit. Is that what you're asking me? Can you hear me, Elder Qanath?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you well. Can you hear me?
Can
you hear me good? Can you hear me good? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
You can't hear me. If y'all hear me, put a 1 up.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Put a 1 up. Most I bless everybody in the chat. If y'all hear me, put a 1 up.
I can hear you.
Okay, I can hear you too. Good.
Okay.
I'm trying to get that one more link that you sent me. That's all. No, let's go ahead. You go ahead and talk a little bit while
you the interviewer, brother. You the interviewer. Shalom B'Hashem Yahawashi. This is Israel.
Hold on, man.
This is the tribal minister, Prince Charlandine. Ben Ami Montezoyam Ben Yasha Allah Senior, the mighty Hebrew. I give you all praise and honor to Yahweh, the supreme, intelligent, powerful one of our forefathers, Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, those striving for righteousness' sake all over the planet Earth. I say into the family, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. What's going on with you, Zaquane? How you feeling, man?
Oh man, I hear some ruckus out there. I feel good. I hear some ruckus going on out there, man. People coming for your head. I hear.
Oh man, I heard some things too.
Yeah, man.
Talk to me.
You know, a lot of times, man. You know,
Tell me about it.
Hey, a lot of times, man, when people come for your head, I know they end up sticking their hand in the lion's mouth and get it bit off. So, it's gonna be interesting.
You are
a little bit because I can tell them.
Yeah, it's all good. It's gonna all come in crystal clear.
So I'm gonna let you start it out.
Okay. So what's the
lion? I think it's Daquan. That's Daquan. Go ahead.
That's Daquan, you said?
I think that's Daquan. Let me see. I'm gonna put him in here. I think I'm gonna put him in the room. I just add him. I think that's him. Yeah, that's.
Hey, Shalom,
yeah. That's Daquan. I ain't seen Daquan in a minute.
What's going on, man?
Shalom, my Lord. That's been a
small presentation.
Where you been hiding at?
Nah, I ain't hiding, man. We getting this crypto money, man.
Yeah, I heard he's supposed to be doing the presentation.
For sure.
Yeah, that's what it's about, man. I can't right now. I'm with all that. It's the Shabbat over here for me right now in Tanzania. But after the Shabbat, I can definitely talk about that. Because that's real. Because I'm making some power moves right now dealing with crypto.
Yeah, we definitely gonna talk, man. I just want to be out.
So that's very much important.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm just here to be a spectator, man. Good to hear from you.
When we finish up, we're gonna go ahead and go live, Daquan.
All right, Khan.
Oh man.
All right, so Prince.
Hallelujah. It's good over here in Africa, man. You got to come see me, man.
Oh, we coming, bro. As soon as we get this bag, man. Look, I might come see you on my ship.
Yo, man, I got a nice surprise for you. A nice surprise for you, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. You're gonna be like, when you come back to the United States, you're gonna be like, the mighty Hebrew is the God, not the Most High, but the God.
Now, I already know, man. You the man, man. You the man. All praises.
I'm trying to tell you, I can't say but so much on this line. That's all I got to say.
Okay, what we gonna do? Prince, tell me where you want me to go at, man. We ready.
Oh man, I'm saying, I got a couple phone calls. Everybody ready for the up and coming. It should be within 3 to 6 weeks. The up and coming debate that I'm having with the boy Tahudi, with the brother Tahudi. We did a little pre-debate on Killer Priest podcast. So, you know, everybody getting their PowerPoints together. Well, my PowerPoint is already done. So, you know, the elder, you know, he reached out, we was talking. So this is the first podcast where I'm going to give y'all a little snippet of my PowerPoint. You know what I'm saying? Not too much, but enough.
What is he saying? What is he saying, though? What's his argument? What is he trying to...
His whole objective, all right, to be honest, I really don't know. All right, but first and foremost, giving all praise and honor to Yahweh. Listen, his objective, right, is that the Hebrew Israelite culture is a culture that is predicated in African theology, or more or less Kemetic theology, because in his mind state, he thinks that he can answer the question of so-called African autonomy by using Kemetic school of thought to answer all Kemetic, all quote-unquote African people. We know that all so-called African people didn't think the same. There was never this Pan-African or Unitarian African society. That's a lie. I'm over here in Africa right now. I done been to Kenya. I done been to Uganda. I done been to I done been to Zanzibar, Somalia, Nigeria, Ghana, Israel, just different, you know, countries all over Africa. You know what I mean? And I'm about to head over to Ethiopia in the next 3 weeks. And what I'm saying is, when you come over here, just Tanzania alone, you got over 125 tribes. And guess what? None of these tribes got a written language. All these tribes, like, they all give their stories orally. Like, a lot of the brothers and sisters don't know that practice Islam. They got the concept of the oral tradition to recite the Quran from different oral African Edenic societies. When you look at Islam, they have a group of scholars known as the Hanafas. These Hanafas, what they do is they are trained to memorize Quran. Even when you look at the Quran as they have today, originally it was written on parchment, anything they can find, lamb skin. I'm just using this as an example. And then as the Hanafas develop, they memorized Quran and they passed it down as a discipline from generation to generation. My opponent, Tahuti, doesn't acknowledge oral tradition. In the podcast on Killer Priest's podcast, he fooled the world by doing the old child's game by saying one thing in somebody's ear or passing a piece of paper and taking it around to each participant, and they supposed to say something different. Well, with the problem that Tahuti has, if that's the case, even the Kemetic writings that he has, originally a lot of these things were oral. And then from there, it was given, and they wrote it down on papyrus. They wrote it in, you know, on sarcophaguses, temples, whatever the case may be. But originally, this was given down orally through initiation and rites of passages, whatever secret engagements that these different Kemetic societies was into. It wasn't given to the general public. So he's saying he don't deal with oral tradition, but his information was given orally. So how do we validate that as being credit? How do we validate Egyptology being credit? Let me show y'all real fast the founders of Egyptology, because I think y'all don't understand, or my opponent doesn't understand who he's actually dealing with. See, what my opponent wanted me to do was give everybody all my information at the pre-debate, so he would know how to combat me on the real debate. To this day, he still don't know how to combat me. Like, I'm gonna give you a prime example of what he thought I couldn't do, because I was limited based on the fact of the reception in Africa. That's number one. Number two, my mic was fucked up. And number three, I wasn't showing my PowerPoint. I was only showing certain clips, okay? Certain clips that I inboxed my wife, and everybody on the podcast was well familiar with that. So now, he says, well, You can't prove. I'm gonna get back to this memorization and oral tradition because my objective is the Torah was originally written orally and then passed on later centuries later. So he said I couldn't prove that Patala or Atlantis didn't exist. He claimed that it started from the Greeks, even though on Killer Priest's podcast, I proved without a shadow of a doubt by throwing up on the screen evidence that it actually existed way before the Greeks. But I'm gonna read to y'all a footnote real quick that I wrote down, and then I'm gonna show y'all the papyrus that he's asking for. I gave him the book, the chapters and verses. Now that was up to him to go to, but for my people Israel, I'm gonna give it to y'all directly. All right, I say this. Remember when Tahuti said that the story of Atlantis comes from the Greeks? It does not. The Tamil in Sanskrit writings states, now this is what I wrote. The Sanskrit writings of ancient India contain several descriptions of Atlantis and even assert that Atlantis was destroyed as the result of war between the gods and the Osiris, recalling the war between the gods and the Titans. Present-day scholars are so steeped in Greek and Roman Western literature that Indian sources from India are too often ignored. And this is what Tahuti does. He ignores the Indus Valley or the Hindustan writings. Watch this. The Vishnu Purana, 2000 to 3000 BCE, one of the oldest of the Hindu Yadava Puranas, speak of Patala or Atala, the White Island, one of several islands belonging to Patala. This can be found in the Vishnu Purana, Book 2, chapters 1, 2, and chapter 3. This old text locates Atala geographically on the climate zone or the heat zone, which according to Francis Wilford and others that have translated the manuscript is 24 to 28 degrees north latitude, putting it in the same latitude as the Canary Islands just off of North Africa's coast. Here it is. And that was in 1801. And here's the manuscript that you can go right now in the British Museum in London, England, and find it. Okay? Don't say, I don't have such and such. You don't know who you're dealing with. See, you wanted to be so quick to try to prove your stance. Hold on, let me get this right so y'all can see this. Hold on. Can you see it, Elder?
Yeah, I see a little bit. It's kind of.
Hold on. Can you see it, Zakwain Qanath?
Yeah. Let me see.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
That's the scroll right there. Because the way that the Puranas is written, they're written in like they give you characters and images of people, etc., etc. So that's the manuscript right there. This manuscript right here is going back 2000 BCE. What you talking about? Vishnu Purana, Book 2, chapters 1, 2, and 3. Checkmate. You thought I couldn't show you? That's what you thought? What you wanted me, I'm gonna show y'all what they wanted me to do. Why would I do that? See, the argument is you cannot take a facsimile and try to, you can't ask for a facsimile for things that are originally oral. You can't do that. Any real scholar know that. That's why when he kept debating about it, I'm like, what are you doing? A real scholar knows that he can't use Western academia facsimiles to disprove oral tradition. You can't do that.
Okay.
And everybody like, oh, he's showing. It's funny because if y'all really watch the debate, see our people, man, they think they smart, but they really not. It's sad to say. If you really watch that video that we did, everything I was putting up, he wasn't combating it. He was putting things up that was irrelevant to the discussion. Oh, like for instance, he'll throw up there an image of a mummy and say, see, we got this, we got that. But you're not answering what I'm putting up. And furthermore, you're not we, because you clearly admit that you're not E1B1A. The true comedians you can find in the Sudan. They're known as the Bija tribes.
Right.
We're not them people. So if we don't, just because people are dark, he talking about, well, I'm saying the ancestors. So the ancient Chinese are your ancestors? The ancient Japanese are your ancestors? Cut it out, man. Just because it's dark skin, that don't mean it's us, man. Stop that. Let me show.
Can he actually? Let me ask you this question.
No,
does he give an answer?
He believes that they ain't none of that. He believes that the ancient Egyptians are actually extraterrestrials. That's what he believes. That's what I'm saying. You sitting up here arguing with people about what they believe in. Yeah, I know. But let me just show you what he wanted me to do. He wanted me to give some archaeology. Shout out to my brother Terry. You know, he inboxed me saying what he was saying, and the stuff he was saying was on point, but I'm laughing to myself because I'm like, we done surpassed Western artifacts, Western academia artifacts. But since they wanted the little artifacts, basically, they wanted me to say something like this. Hebrew Israelite sovereign nationals that are captives of the Assyrians from the palace of Sennacherib, approximately 680 BCE. You can also align that with 2 Kings chapter 18, verse 13 to 14. Here's the image. See, this is the type of stuff they wanted me to do.
Right.
Basic stuff we've been doing. Oh, yeah. Tahuti asked for images of the Israelites. Show us images and stuff. Remember, the Hebrews, we didn't carve graven images. And speaking of images, this same brother tried to go to my website, tmhu.org, and because at the beginning it gives you an image. But you know what's so stupid about when he did that? He's trying to point out a cartoon image, and right on his goddamn shirt, he got a cartoon image of Horus.
A cartoon image.
This is what I mean by being dumb, man. Yeah, you sitting up here trying to show. Mike Hebrew say he don't make cartoon images, which I don't. He don't make cartoon images. But you're saying all this while you have a cartoon image shirt.
Well, I mean, that's kind of asinine because we buy cereal boxes that we have everything damn that has an image on it. A bottle of syrup, you know.
It's a difference from an image, but there's a difference from an image versus a graven image. Come on with the bullshit. If that's the case, we can go to many different comedic sites where they got cartoon images. We can go right on the back pages of different comedic believers and they use cartoons. He wanted me to do this. Let me give you a demonstration, Qanath, what he wanted me to do. Tahuti asked for images of the Israelites. I'm not giving out everything just yet. Look below. Assyrian depiction of the northern kingdom of Hebrew Israelite sovereign nationals, 722 BCE. That's what you wanted me to do. You wanted me to say, oh, images of true Hebrew Israelite sovereign nationals in the Babylonian captivity, 586 BCE. Below, and we showed that. That's what you wanted.
We didn't show that before. I'm trying to where's the scholarship then?
Right. He don't believe in oral tradition. He wants me to show in stone, right? Let me real quick just bang it off real quick. This for you, brother Terry, because you my brother. So I'm going to show you something to show you how this dude is not sharp, how y'all think. All right. So I just sent, watch this, y'all. I'm going to show y'all because cats like, oh shit, this brother sharp. All right. So y'all see right here, the Moabite stone, 840 BCE, the first mention of the creator of Israel, Yahweh. It says Omri was the king of Israel, and he oppressed Moab, and I took the vessels of Yahweh. Now, this is in the Louvre Museum in France. Let's play a game, Tahuti. Let's play a Western Academia game, Tahuti. Tahuti. Who's here? Close that door, Shamaya. Okay. No. Turn the light on. Yup. Just close the door.
Tahuti, come on, brother. You need to come
Let's
over here.
play the Western. Look, Western Academia game. Right? So now, you have the Moabite Stella, right? Now, Tahuti believes that the so-called Bible came during Alexander the Great's era, or Alexander, son of Philip of Macedonia. Follow me, everybody. All y'all got to follow me with this. So he creates this group known as the Alexandrian Council, right? Who are their names? We don't know, right? This is what he's saying to John. See, I'm setting this ball up for failure, right? So he says the Greeks created that, right? So if I can show y'all, right, something older than the Greeks, right, then it stands correct that this bull frauding and he not a scholar like he say he is, right? But y'all Kemetic scholars, oh, Tahuti. So now, this is the real image that's in the Louvre Museum in France. I want y'all to see this because I'm doing this for a reason, okay? So now, let's go real fast to 2 Kings chapter 3. Yo, do you got your sword on you, Zaquane?
Hold on. I gotta go.
Zaquane, Qanath, go get your sword real fast, right? See, oh, that ain't scholarship. Oh, because he can't argue oral tradition with the Western Academia. You setting him up, mighty Hebrew, because you know you can't argue Western Academia facsimile against oral tradition. I never told him to debate it. A fool will only debate that. All right, so we at 2 Kings chapter 3, right? All right, so I want to start at verse 4. Listen to this, y'all. We at 2 Kings chapter 3, verse 4. And Misha, king of Moab, was a sheep master, and rendered unto the king of Israel 100,000 lambs and 100,000 rams with wool, right? But and that's also aligned with Isaiah chapter 16, verse 1. Checkmate. Let's continue on. But it came to pass when Ahaz was dead, that the king of Moab rebelled against the king of Israel, right? Y'all hear that, right? And King Jehoram went out into Samaria at the same time to number all Israel. So as we continue to read in the same chapter, right, you're going to hear about Omri. So I'm going to read these notes that I have, right? Because we're showing you in the book of Kings, 2 Kings, chapter 3, starting at verse 4, that Israel had Moab under garrisons, and King Misha rose up and warred against them. We got the Moabite Stela on line 18 of the Moabite Stela, 840 BCE, way before your so-called Alexandrian Council. See, my mother always told me, never put all your eggs in one basket. Now, why would I be a fool to go to a pre-debate? That's why it's called pre-debate, dumb. Pre means before the debate. And then just give you all my stuff. So then when the debate comes, you can counter what I'm saying. See, I let that boy, see, I know his argumentative methods. You like to clown around. You like to make funny antics. You like to show other people's culture, the Cometians, the children of Cam, Mizraim, the Egyptians, and make it seem like it applies to all black people on the planet. You can't do that. You can't take a people's culture and try to make it seem like you're answering the question for all black people in Africa. That's dumb. All so-called black nations didn't have written languages. A lot of them was oral. That's what I try to tell you, man.
But you know,
my problem
is people always want to question us like we got to prove who we are. But when you go to ask them, they can't prove who they are. And then when you ask for the culture, but you know, we talked about this earlier, dealing with clothes, food, you know, dealing with culture like that, and in writing, in language. And when you can get all ours, and you just don't get it. And then a lot of stuff that where they come from, everything they talk about is in the Bible. And they don't have not one solid book. So I'm looking for one solid book. We got one solid book that we can build on to go with stones, ancient writing, and culture. I'm trying to find out what book is it, right, that they're reading from. And what's the culture?
I don't know.
I mean, you practice.
I don't know, bro. I mean, I really can't tell you. I really don't know what's going on. Also, if you go to 1 Kings chapter 16, right? That's another joint y'all can go to. Let me get the verse for y'all. If you look at verse 17, you'll see Omri is right in there. You see Omri. So we already know that we telling the truth. And Omri went up from Gibbatoth and all Israel with him, and they besieged it. So if you read the 16th chapter, you understand what I'm saying? You will read how Omri, you understand what I'm saying, was fighting King Misha of Moab. And then you got the Moabite Stela verifying and confirming what's in the Tanakh. Let me read something to y'all real fast, and then we're going to get into the next artifact about King David. You can't prove King David existed. Y'all don't have any records of King David existed. I just sat back on that podcast and I was just, I was like, I don't want to go to my PowerPoint. That's what he wanted me to do. But for the sake of Israel, to show Israel how I think, this is a pre-debate, y'all. This is not the debate. But for the sake of Israel, here's a couple of little artifacts for y'all to make y'all happy. So what I want to show y'all and read to y'all is with this manuscript the Moabite Stela is talking about. Okay? So now, the Misha Stela, or the Moabite Stela, or stone, made of black basalt and standing there 4 feet tall, contains an inscription dedicated by King Meshach of Moab and contemporary of kings Omri and Ahab of Israel, located in Transjordan, roughly opposite the territory of Judah. The Moabites were somewhat closely related to the Israelites. Sure they were, because they were descendants of Lot. Let's continue on. Lot was the nephew of Abraham. You say that these characters don't exist. I'm just like, oh, so the Moabites, they don't exist. So if Abraham don't exist, then that means the Moabites don't exist.
Right. Or Tahudi.
This is foolishness, Tahudi. I love you. You my brother, Tahudi. But this doesn't make any sense. Let's keep going. Watch this. This is ridiculous. One of their many territory adversaries. The Moabite language, as demonstrated in the inscription, is very similar to biblical Hebrew, possibly even a dialect of it. Known as the Moabite stone or the Meshach stela, this monument contains the longest royal inscription from Iron Age Palestine that has yet been discovered. The inscription begins in the common fashion of ancient Near Eastern royal monumental inscriptions, by speaking in the name of the king, proclaiming, I am Meshach, king of Moab, and continues to describe the triumph of Moab's rebellion against the dominion of the kingdom of Israel. Very interesting. But I thought you said that the scriptures wasn't created into the Alexandrian Council that you made up. By the way, you can't prove that, but we can show in Kings that's aligning with the Moabite stela. Very interesting. Let's continue. Let's continue on. I am Meshach, king of Moab, and continues to describe the triumph of Moab's rebellion against the dominion of the kingdom of Israel. The stela is dedicated to the Moabite god Chemosh. Forgive me, Yahweh, you told me in the 13th chapter, you know what I'm saying? You told me in the book of Exodus not to even make mention of these pagan deities. Please forgive me. Let me continue on. Excuse me, chapter 23, verse 13. Let me continue on, right? The stela is dedicated to the Moabite power, I said his name, for delivering Moab from Israel, and probably once stood in the temple of Dibon, Meshach's capital. Also, relevance to ancient Israel. Let's speak about the relevance, my brother Tahudi, to ancient Israel. The Meshach stela provides direct textual evidence that collaborates a story in the Tanakh. 2 Kings chapter 3, verses 4 to 27. Even though the Bible and the Meshach stela provide different accounts of the ongoing troubles between Israel and Moab, the fact that both sides describe a struggle shows us that it did in fact occur, and thus proves the Tanakh to be authentic. According to the Bible, the Tanakh, the Septuagint, during the war with Israel, the king of Moab sacrificed his firstborn son. The Meshach stela does not. The stela reports the capture of Israelite territory and the slaughter of thousands of Israelites, which the Qanath admits. They agree that after the mid-9th century BCE, Israel's power over Moab declined. The Meshach stela allows us to investigate from an extra Tanakh perspective what similarities or differences there may have been between Israel and Moab. The Meshach stela allows us, I read that, they seem to have shared a common theological perspective on international affairs. Both peoples believe that political misfortunes were caused by the anger of their particular national power. Go see Judges chapter 3, verses 7 and 11 for the example. And that deliverance as well as punishment comes from the deity. It is no surprise that the king of Moab, listen y'all, bears the name Mesha, which means salvation, just like the name Yehoshua, Yah saves, right? Another social religious connection is that both the Israelites and the Moabites had laws that could place a town under a ban of holy war. See Deuteronomy chapter 20, verse 16 to 17. In such an instance, all spoils of war, both human and material, were dedicated to the deity who ensured victory in return. The Mesha stela implies this, since Mesha claims that when he captured the town of Nebo from Israel, he dragged the vessels of Yahweh before that deity, I'm not going to say his name, symbolizing the triumph of that deity. See also 1 Samuel chapter 5, verses 1 and 2. Other important features of the stela include an early reverence to Yahweh as the power of the Israelites in line 18. And according to the biblical scholar Andrew Lemurian, who recently re-examined the Mesha stela, it appears to have mentioned the house of David, the same destination given to the kingdom of Israel in the Chaldean stela. Stop. Let's talk about King David, Tahuti, shall we? Because they re-examined the Mesha stela, or the Moabite stela, and in the Moabite stela, the term Ba'it Dawid or Bayat Dawada, the house of David, is mentioned in the Moabite stela. So now, what I want you to do, Almighty Hebrew, why you ain't bring this out? Why you ain't bring? Yo, I'm beyond that now, man. I'm beyond, you know how many years I've been showing this artifact lining up with, come on, we beyond that. We trying to reach back. Remember, the scriptures say that the Torah is going to be in our inner parts and that we're not going to have to teach our neighbors anymore. What that means is we're going to repetitiously be upholding Torah so much that we're going to be transferring it to each other as we did in the days of old, orally through our rites of passages. We're going to go back to the aura. So now, could you pull up the proof online and see King David?
Say it again. Say it again.
This is foolishness. Oh shit. That link I showed that I sent you about King David, that you just had up there, show that while I show this. All right, but I'm showing this. I'm showing this image real quick. Let me say this real quick. Since we talking about King David,
you talking about the video?
You had, wait, let me make sure. Hold on. Let me make sure, my brother. Let me go to your page. I got to go to your page because I was on, Messenger. It should, you got the Chaldean inscription, the first historical evidence of King David from the Bible, Biblical Archaeology Society. Then you got another link that says Israeli archaeologists uncover fortress from the time of King David. So not only do we got the fortress of the time of King David, we also got this, y'all. Let me show y'all. Let me show you. The Chaldean inscription, the first historical evidence of King David from the Bible. Could this be it right here that I'm looking at? Is this what I'm looking at? Is this what I'm looking at? Is that what it is?
Hold on, I'm trying
Let me read it.
Work right. My screen is freezing.
Let me read. The fragmental Tel Dan Stela containing Tel Dan inscription or the House of David inscription provided the first historical evidence of King David from the Bible. The Armenian king who erected the stela in the mid-8th century BCE claims to have defeated the king of Israel and the king of the House of David. You can go to the Israeli Museum in Jerusalem, Israeli Antiquities Authority. Come on, man. Let me blow it up for y'all real quick so y'all can see. There we go, man. There go David name right there.
Oh, you know what I do? This is crazy. I'm going to have to close up all my tabs just to show one tab.
Look. Yeah, I hear you. Look. It says, Bait Daiweed, or in ancient, Ba'at Dawada. Come on. The House of David. Now, if this is in the 8th century BCE, this was only some years after David died. Come on, man. Right. What you talking about? We have proof that Omri existed. So, okay. If King Omri existed, and he was a descendant, he was like the great-great-grandson of King David. Who else would his grandfather be?
Right.
If Omri existed, right? Who would his grandfather be? His great-great-grandfather be? The Afrocentric world agrees and admits that King Hezekiah existed. Who was King Hezekiah's father? Who was King Hezekiah's father's father, etc., etc.? You got to admit, if you admit that one exists, you admit that they all existed. Come on, man. Come on, man. I thought we have archaeology. I don't deal with that because I know it's a control mechanism from the Royal Society, right? What's up with this? Let's go there. Right. I'm going to the link now, y'all. Let's go there right now because I see something very interesting in www.sciencedaily.com. King David's Palace. New archaeological evidence uncovered in the Judean sheep Hila. Oh. Am I lying? I don't think so. July 21st, 2013, source, Israeli Antiquities Authority. Summary, archaeologists have uncovered what they are saying is King David's palace in the Judean Shehila. Royal storerooms were also revealed in the joint archaeological excavation of the Hebrew University and Israel Antiquities Authority at Korbet, Qiyafa. These are the two largest buildings known to have existed in the 10th century BCE in the Kingdom of Judah. Come on, man.
Hey, this is none of this stuff. None of this stuff. Wait a minute. Go ahead.
What you say, my lord? He said. No, I'm saying he said, you can't show nothing. You can't show nothing earlier than the Alexandrian era. I said, God damn, I know this boy don't believe that. He can't possibly be teaching these things and talking about other people. And he's actually telling people that there's no Israelite artifacts or archaeological data before the Alexandrian era. Man, this guy is bonkers. This guy is bonkers, man, to even believe. Like, that's why I said, I told him I wasn't that type of Hebrew. I'll let you go ahead and talk and tell people what you think and what you believe and all that. So let's check this out, right? So let's go to what is known as the Silver Scrolls. Remember I was mentioning on the pre-debate about the Silver Scrolls? And I clearly told him, yo, man, I ain't got my PowerPoint on me, you know what I mean? And I don't want to keep waking my wife up. And he was trying to use that like as a premise to say, damn, you can't show that. You can't prove it. Oh, okay. When unrolled the two ancient ornaments from Chieftain Himnom reveals miniature writing that has been painstakingly described on them. Researchers discovered that the inscriptions included the blessings of Numbers chapter 6, verse 24. This goes back to the 7th century BCE, and it was excavated in 1979.
Hey, can you see the screen? Man. Is that up there now?
I told you. No, it's still like spinning on your end. It's trying to get there. Okay. No sweat. As Tazaryak would say, no sweat. You see that? That's the Silver Scrolls, Tahuti. You know that. Why are you playing these games? Like, you don't know. You don't know. This is foolishness, man. Like, I didn't know that cats is still like arguing over like manuscripts that crackers done captured to manifest white supremacy. Y'all want to see what the Hebrews of Nubia look like? Look at the Hebrews of Nubia, bro. With keypads on and all.
Hey, I'm gonna press play, see what happens.
Huh?
I'm gonna press play and see
Say what?
I press play. Can you hear?
Oh, go ahead.
Occupied by Israel since
Yes.
1967.
אני עומד באזור הכניסה, משמאלי יש לנו את הפתח, איזושהי במה, ואת האבן הזאת שעליה אנחנו רואים שתי חריטות של דמויות עם קרניים. תופעה דומה אנחנו רואים באזור בציידה, אתר שמזוהה עם הבירה של ממלכת שור. במקורות אותה ממלכה היא בקשרי משפחה עם ממלכת בית דוד.
Archaeologists believe the 1,000 square meter hilltop fortress belonged to the kingdom of Geshur, ancient city-state in the Levant, which the Bible describes as an ally of King David. Their digging also uncovered a number of artifacts at the site, including a figurine of a woman playing a drum. They say the 3,000-year-old complex protected with walls and a half thick. Home to some of the world's oldest settlements, Israel is an archaeological gold mine. Archaeology is often politicized there to stake historical claims on the land. This latest discovery was unearthed ahead of construction of a new neighborhood for the nearby Jewish settlement of Hispin. Authorities say they'll now change the building plans to preserve the site and make it accessible to the public.
There you have it.
I mean, this is what the people want me to show. Like, I'm laughing like my people got to be much smarter than that, man. Y'all can't let nobody come on and show y'all a mummy. Remember, the Israelites can't deal with the dead. So if we displayed like dead, and I thought Tahuti under the 42 negative confessions of Ma'at, or the 157 negative confessions of Ma'at, I thought negative confession 39 clearly said that you shall not desecrate the dead bodies of your ancestors. So when you show mummies and you show all this and that, are you not shaming the ancestors? Because remember, the museums are a display of a trophy of conquest by the Europeans. Now let me read something to y'all real deep before I show y'all some more artifacts. I'm telling you, this is crazy. People are becoming idol worshipers. When you hear the Black conscious community constantly say, show us archaeological artifacts, show us this, they're really worshiping idols. You gotta really peep what they're doing, but I'm gonna show you where this come from. Y'all want to see where it come from? Tell me, Elder. Do you want to see where this comes from?
Yes, sir.
Okay. First, let me show you they mother granddaddies first. I gotta show you first they granddaddies, who they believe in and who they follow. Because, you know, these guys really thought like, yo, man, boys deep, right? So let's deal with Jean Champollion, father of Egyptology. This is your goddamn granddaddy, man. This is who you follow. This white boy, Champollion. You want us to get rid of the so-called Bible.
Well, hey, that don't look like
you following the so-called white. No, that ain't Tahuti. That's my brother, Tahuti. Don't get it twisted. That's my brother. But he tried to take shots at our community in a way to like minimize us, like we ain't about what we supposed to be about. And see, you don't minimize our community and try to make a mockery out of our community. Well, let me show you the granddaddy of Western Egyptology, also known as American Egyptology. Oh, and by the way, there's different types of Egyptology: indigenous Egyptology, German Egyptology, French Egyptology. Oh, you do know that. You know indigenous Egyptology, which I can prove, and I'll show that tonight too, was created in Egypt to combat Western Egyptology, because Western Egyptology try to use Kemetic history as a colonial mechanism to control all different African societies by lumping them all up and explaining African societies by the way of Egyptian theology. And if it didn't align with the chronological dates that were outlined amongst these Egyptologists, which they all contradict themselves, then they're irrelevant to history. But is this your man right here? Don't tell me. Is this James Henry Bressett, the father of American Egyptology, the father of Oriental Studies at the University of Chicago? Don't tell me that this ain't who you talking. Come on, who you think you talking to, man? You serious that you coming to us? I'm not done with you yet. You know what I mean? I ain't done with you yet. Who this dude? Don't tell me you following Petri. Don't tell me this is the three main granddaddies of Egyptology. Let's read a little bit about Petri. Sir William Matthews Findless Petri, born June 1853 and died July 28, 1942, commonly known as Findler's Petri, was an English Egyptologist. Now listen to this, y'all, and a pioneer of systematic methodology and archaeology and preservation of artifacts. So your systematic methodology and beliefs come from this cracker.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. Are you for real? Oh, let's take it deeper. Let's take it so deep that a nigga sink and never come back.
I got that.
Let's go.
In scripture, historical evidence of King David on deck.
Yeah. Go ahead. You can show that real quick before I show this Victorian Egyptology and the making of a colonial field science. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. A lot of people, man, they say they know what they know until they run into somebody like myself, Zion Lex, Nasi Yassavel, F.O.P.E, you know, different scholars, Prince Casman Yisra, Dr. Cosgrave bin Yahuda, the Crown Prince Yosef, and many other scholars. Sister Zalima, you know what I mean? Sister Ima Alisha Ba, etc., etc. You want to put that on deck real quick so the people can see?
Yeah, let me. My bad. I spoke too quick, but let me try to get this on here.
Oh, well, go ahead and do. While you doing that, I'll put this on the screen for the people.
Okay.
It's on. Now, y'all can't see it well, but y'all will see it and much, much more. This is like a little snippet. You know what I mean? So this is a book that came out in December 2019. It was published by the University of Cambridge. You want your bourgeois academic consensus? Woo! The white man gotta verify you, huh? The white man gotta, say what's true and what's not. So-called black man tell you, that's bullshit, y'all. Oh, I don't believe you, man. You want to show us. We don't want to hear no more about no dead pharaohs. Oh, you want me speaking your language? We don't want to hear no more about no dead in the soup. We don't want to hear no more about that. We want to hear about how the Hebrew Israelites got from point A in the captivity of the United States to point B to now we free in Africa. That's what we want to talk about. That's what we desire. Victorian Egyptology and the making of a colonial field science, 1850 to 1906. University of Cambridge. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's go into the section. The field in Egyptology. Ooh, hold that thought right there. Ooh. This what I'm saying. Like, we got to stop this, man. We got to stop listening to people. Oh, I see it. Just hold that thought right there for a second, because I need y'all to hear what the mighty Hebrew is about to show y'all. Okay? The first portion I want to go into in this book, it's called The Myth of Egyptology, the myth of Egyptological field work, right? Let me see if that's what I want to show. Yeah, the myth. Oh, they coming at these people. They coming at these jokers, man, because these jokers really think Egypt is where it's at. And you can't tell them nothing. They think they know everything. But your own academia bourgeois is telling you. Now, listen to this, y'all. The field in Egyptology. Listen, I want y'all to hear this. Let me get because I need y'all. Oh, there it is right there. Now, listen. Archaeologists today regularly speak about the field in sites, or sometimes the field site interchangeably. These catch-all terms can denote many things. They can refer to visible antiquities, such as a temple, tomb, or a monument, to an area that has undergone excavation in the past, to a place commonly undergoing archaeological excavation, or to any place that serves as a rite of passage for students entering. Listen, rite of passage for students entering into the discipline, somewhere to do field training. Similarly, field work refers to the practice of gathering. Everything good? Okay, that's my children, my Eli D. Let me go back where I was at. Refers to the practice of gathering objects and data. Field workers to the people doing manual labor. Field equipment to the tools of excavation, and field books to the pages where the activities are recorded. Listen, y'all. While these terms are often taken for granted as relatively stable categories in Egyptology, they were adopted only as archaeology itself emerged as a discipline in the late 19th century. Antiquarian Texas had a long history of referencing sites to indicate that a place was or was thought to be the location of ancient remains. Stop. So these people are they're taking certain excavation sites and misplacing them based on what they think. And it even goes much deeper. Watch this, y'all. This is going to really be what you call like the banger of all bangers. Are you there, Elder?
You loud and clear.
Are you there, Elder? Okay. So y'all think y'all dealing with y'all own mind. Y'all think y'all dealing with, things that, y'all just coming up with. Well, listen to this. When did British Egyptologists begin doing field work? The commonplace narrative maintains that systematic archaeological field work started in the 1880s as a byproduct of a number of confluences in 1882. This included the British occupation of Egypt, the establishment of the Egypt Exploration Fund, and changes to the dictatorship of the French-controlled Egyptian Antiquity Service, which ended the decades-long monopoly over excavation permits held by French archaeologists. The off-cited progress of Egyptian fieldworks during this period is regularly credited for its efforts of William Matthews Petrie and Petrie, the celebrated father of scientific archaeology. These is crackers, man. This is who y'all following. But y'all telling us about the Bible? Huh? Now let's go into the mind of what these people was thinking, right? Because all y'all run around here talking crazy, but watch this. Let's go so deep in the rabbit's hole that they'll never be able to say shit to us after this statement. Now remember, this comes from Cambridge University. These are the scholars that you love. These are the people that you cherish. Don't try to say, oh, it ain't true because the mighty Hebrew said it. Let's find out how these people think. Are you with me, Elder? Are you with me, Elder?
Yes, I am.
Are you with?
Yep, I'm
all right, watch
I got
this.
to mute because I got not loud. Go ahead.
We still in Victorian Egyptology, written 2019 by the University of Cambridge. Listen to what they say. This thesis, talking about the book, right? They saying this thesis, let me blow it up. This thesis focuses on the power of the field in Egyptology as part of the Victorian geographical imagination of the East. This was these crackers' imagination. Watch. As a colonial, they saying that Egyptology is a colonial landscape to be claimed through text and image. That's where Tahui said, oh, show me some archaeology, show me some images, right? Watch. As a microcosm of colonial control. You hear this, Tahui? Colonial control, surveillance, and disciplining of labors as a training site, as a quasi-scientific and domestic space of knowledge production, and as a critical tool in constructing expert identities. Come on, man. I just fucking body bag that shit like a million times. So Egyptology was created as a colonial tool to use as a mechanism of control against different African states in the world. That's why when you look at the dollar bill, do you not see the eye of Asar? Some say Osiris, the new Egypt resurrected. The eye of Nimrod. What are you talking about on your dollar bill? That's a tombstone. But you running around here talking about, show us academic consensus. Show us archaeology. The fucking archaeology was created as a fixed element because it had to fulfill the book of Daniel. Matter of fact, Elder Qanath, go to Daniel chapter 7, verse 25 and 26. Like, are y'all kidding me? Running around here listening to people because they showed you a couple of mummies and showed you a couple scrolls or papyruses. That was proving something.
You want Daniel? You say Daniel chapter 7, verse 25 and 26?
Yeah, I need you to read that for me real fast.
Daniel chapter 7, verse 25, and it reads on this wise. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given unto his hands until a time and times and the dividing of times. Verse 26. But the judgment shall set, and they shall take away his dominion, to consume and to destroy it unto the end.
So they got a time and a half a time to rule, right? So they got a time and a half a time to rule through Egyptology. Right? Let's read it again. Let's prove Daniel chapter 7, verse 25 and 26. Y'all like, damn, what Mighty Hebrew doing? Why? He talking about oral because we know that you can't argue a facsimile with oral tradition. The Torah was originally written in oral. This is what he wanted me to do. He wanted me to say the Dead Sea Scrolls so he could say, well, you know, the Dead Sea Scrolls is a forgery. He wanted me to say the Septuagint. See, I already know what he's thinking, so I know not to say certain things. The audience is like, okay, but I'm bodying him at the same time, but he don't even see it because he's so blinded because my microphone was all like kind of messing up, and because I would read to you my sources. Yes.
Yeah, let me say something real quick, brother. I don't know if he want to do it, but I think it's important that he at least come on an Israelite platform for at least 45 minutes, right? Because you're on that side and this side, right? To build up the viewership, right? You know what I mean? To build the viewership. So I think, Tahuti knows the momentum of, yeah, Tahuti, my brother. That's my brother. He knows me. Yeah, but I'm gonna body him. I'm gonna body him because, you know, my brother Yasha Terry, that's my brother. And he was like, yo, you can't deal with such and such and such. Yes, you can, because all classical writers, including Josephus, who's our relative, tell us that the ancient Israelites, or better yet, the Hebrews, come from the Indus Valley. We could prove it by the way of Bereshit, Genesis chapter 11, verse 1 to 4. It breaks down how we came from the east and used the Hebrew word Kadim. Kadim is the same Hebrew word all throughout the Tanakh that's talking about the Indus Valley, man. And it says we found a plain in Shinar. It was called Shinar, which is the Hebrew word for what they call today Sumer, man. We came from the Indus Valley to Mesopotamia. The tribe that Abraham come from is called Yadavas. I'm gonna prove that tonight. I'm gonna show y'all actual sources that y'all can go to so y'all can see this stuff for yourselves.
Yadava is the Sanskrit word for the Hebrew word Yahawadah, Yahuda, Judah. Jacob named his fourth son Judah after the pre-existent tribe of Judah that Abraham came from. There was 2 tribes of Judah. Ooh, boy. You got 1 tribe of Judah, right? 1 tribe of Judah known as Yadavas from the Indus Valley that Abraham came from out of. And then Jacob named his 4th son Judah after, yes, I'm live.
Are you on service or the Wi-Fi?
I'm live, y'all. Why? You can't turn it off.
Oh.
You can't turn it off because I'm on a live. So do not turn it off. So getting back to the point as to what I'm saying, right? There was 2 tribes of Judah. So right here, you got up here, right? No, before we go, I need to read that one more time so it'll get clear in the audience here, and then I'm gonna show a few more and then go off and spend time with my family. All right, let's read that one more time.
I still got this up on the screen too.
Oh yeah. I know you do. I definitely see it, and I know it's there. So now, watch this. Let's do that one more time. This thesis focuses on the power of the field in Egyptology as part of the Victorian geographical imagination of the Orient, meaning the East, as a colonial landscape to be claimed through text and image. They saying that this was a colonial landscape to be claimed through text and image. Who controls the texts? Who controls the images of you? Come on, man. That's why you Afrocentric scholars keep focusing on Egypt, because your slave master is focusing on that. And he used that as a colonial vehicle to enslave you, man. Come on, man. I try to forewarn you, Tahuti, on Killer Priest podcast. I try to forewarn you. I'm trying to give you a way out. You think that you can use the Kemetic school of thought as a form of Pan-Africanism, because Pan is the Greco-Latin word that means all, as if Africa was a Unitarian society when it never was. All people in Africa did not believe in the teachings of Kemet, man. But the way you talking, you saying on Killer Priest podcast, show us some stuff from our ancestors, even though I gave you Josephus. I gave you Flavius Josephus and told you where you can go to, but you still kept saying our ancestors. So then I said, so are you saying you Kemetic by the seed of your father? Does your DNA align with what they consider E1B1B? Because so-called African Americans are E1B1A, E/M2. And our women is L2, L3. So I'm saying to myself, like, damn, if you're not a part of the Bija tribes or the modern day Sudanese, how you Kemet? Why you even talking about Kemet? Even Jabari admitted that he ain't Kemetic, but he followed the Kemetic school of thought. It's funny when y'all go to these colleges, y'all initiated in these Greek fraternities. It's so important that we clearly see the importance of the power of the Greeks. And remember, the Greeks was tutelaged by your Comedians. And now the Greeks passed their power on to the Romans. And the Romans, or the Roman Empire, was broken up by the barbarians, the Visigoths and the Goths, right? And it was broken up into 10 kingdoms, right? And don't the book of Daniel talk about the fall of the 3 kings out of them 10, which is Britain, Spain, and France, from the little horn, or that image of that man, which is America? Huh? You still there, Zaquane? You still there, Zaquane? Is my brother Elder Qanath?
Yeah, I'm here.
Still there?
I was on mute and it got stuck with me trying to take it off. I'm here though. I hear you.
Oh, okay, I'm just making sure because I see that I see that the live chat is on tilt right now. It's on tilt. It's on fire right now. F.O.P.E. Subscribe to F.O.P.E. So watch this. As a colonial landscape to be claimed through text and image, as a microcosm of colonial control, surveillance, and discipline of laborers, as a training site, as a quasi-scientific and domestic space of knowledge production, and as, this is the last part, and as a critical tool in constructing expert identities. So they done created identities, they done did all this crazy stuff, and now y'all done fell victim for it. Now y'all think Egypt is this major superpower. Egypt can answer the question for Africa. No, they're not. Your whole spirituality is being controlled by crackers, and you don't even know it. And then we got on the screen right here, it says the Chaldean inscription, the first historical evidence of King David from the Bible. I thought I couldn't show no evidence. I was showing you evidence there. You just, your ears, you got too much wax in your ears. You wanted me to show you an image. Why? Because y'all want to idol worship. Y'all want to look at dead pharaohs and mummies and statues and all that. That's all idol worship. And we see where that come from. Didn't I just read it and show you where it come from? The Victorian era. Let's go a little deeper. Let's look into this book right here by John Lavelle Jr. Black Song, The Forge and the Flame, the story of how the Afro-American spiritual was hammered out. This is the book right here. This is the book right here. So now this brother, he wants to like go against oral tradition and things like that. So let's go into this book on page 7, right? And let's read what's said about those in West Africa. Now remember, you got there on that screen about King David in the house of David. Am I correct, my brother?
King.
Am I correct? Okay. And who was David's son? Solomon, right?
Good.
Okay. So I'm sorry, it's not on page 7. It's on page 31 and 32. John Lavelle Jr., Black Song, The Forge and the Flame. It reads on this wise. If the American white man fancies that he was the first to teach the Bible to his black slave, he is quite mistaken. Mungo Park, as affirmed by Marlon L. Stokely. We talking about eyewitnesses, my brother. Stokely found that Fantuma, a Kafar schoolmaster, had Arabic versions of the Torah, right? And the reason why it was in Arabic at this time, because it was during the Dark Ages from the 5th century AD to the 15th century. Why? Because at that time in West Africa, Arabic was considered the language of diplomacy. Watch this. The Psalms of David and the book of Isaiah. They had a copy of the book of Isaiah. But you claim that all this was created during the Alexandrian era, even though this is after the Alexandrian era. But guess what? A statement is going to be made that is going to bust that out the frame as I continue to read. It says, the unlearned Mandinkas entertained him, right, with stories of Joseph and his brethren, Moses, David, and Solomon. They gave out the stories as part of their own folklore and were very much surprised to learn that white men had heard of them. Stop. You said, Tahuti, that the Alexandrian Council created the so-called Bible, white folks. But why do we have here tribes in West Africa talking about these people and telling the so-called white man these stories as their own relatives, right? That they were related, that they were Israelites themselves, and that they were surprised to know that white people knew about them. But I thought the Alexandrian Council created that. You want me to bang him out real good? Zaquin Qanath, can I show you something real quick? Can I show you something that'll bang him out so crazy that you're going to be like, oh, this is unbelievable? Can I do that? Huh, Elder Qanath? Are you there, Elder?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I had to step away for a second.
Could you real quick go to the book of Joshua, chapter 15? Could you do the brother a favor and go to Joshua chapter 15? And could you read to me verses 21 and 22? Can I ask you a question before you read that, Elder Qanath? Can I ask you a question?
Sure, go ahead.
The Hebrew Israelites that live in Israel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where is the main city? What's the name of the main city that they live in that everybody talks about?
Dimona, I believe, right?
Right, Dimona, right? Okay.
Right.
Could you read Joshua? Right. Could you read Joshua chapter 15, verse 21 to 22 to us real fast, to the whole family?
This is the book of Joshua, chapter 15, verse 21, and reads on this wise. And the uttermost cities of the tribe of the children of Judah towards the coast of Edom, southward were Cabels and Elder and Jagar, and Qanath and Dimona, and Dimona.
So you mean to tell me that it's speaking about southern Israel, the cities where the tribe of Judah lived at, and Dimona is one of them? Am I hearing this correct?
And Qanath and Dimona, verse 22.
And that community that I'm a part of that left in 1967, we teach that we're from the tribe of Judah. Funny that we're returning back to the cities where we were at. Now, if this is a fake document that was written by the Alexandrian Council, as you say, Tahuti, how is it that Dimona is mentioned in Joshua chapter 15, verse 22, and today we have Israelites that live in that same town?
Brother.
Yeah, now, this is insane. This is insane, man. And if you read that whole chapter, it lets you know that they live to the south, where it says towards the coast. In the Hebrew there, it uses Negev. It uses the Hebrew Negev Edom. So it's letting you know into the desert, because remember, the Negev is an extension of the Sahara Desert. Isn't Dimona in the Negev Desert? Come on, man. What are they talking to, man? We're talking to these people, man. You know what I mean?
Well, that's why I say I find it ironic, my Hebrew, that the Bible, like I said, is everything throughout history and other books and landscapes and all the names damn near in Africa, right, is in the Bible, okay, and in the Hebrew. So I mean, I just find it
right. And you know what's so funny? You say that the Alexandrian Council, whatever this council is that you made up, Tahuti, made this. Why is it? Because remember, at the time during Alexander, the New Testament didn't come into play yet. So you only still had the Old Testament. So historically, why is all these African, Asiatic names mentioned throughout the Old Testament? But you don't see Greece, you don't see Rome, you don't see none of that. And to the very end, they might mention the Greek one time, like in a couple times in the book of Daniel, something like that. but you don't see no Euro Gentile land masses and people like that. You only see what would be considered Afro-Asiatic or Hamitic and Shemitic nations.
Hey, Prince.
Yes.
Before you finish up, because I don't know if you're going to get to this right here, but I have 2 small video clips I know you will love. I had 2 small video clips. I want you to go ahead and finish up on yours, but I know you'll land me back on it pretty well, but go ahead.
Yes, absolutely. I definitely will. And I'm going to speed this up because I got to deal with the family. And
yeah, me too.
Let me go to where I wanted to go to that next. Hold on. I'm going back to you. To finish up that quotation. So in that quotation that I'm finishing up, it says that the unlearned man thinkers entertained him with stories of Joseph and his brother and Moses, David, and Solomon. They gave out the stories as part of their own folklore and were very much surprised to learn that white men had heard of them. If many slaves already knew a great deal of the Bible, the whole pattern of the origin and development of the backgrounds of the spiritual in America will have to be reconsidered. So we have evidence that we knew about these people in the scriptures through our oral traditions throughout West Africa, knowing that we was Israelites during the time when we ruled during the Zah dynasty. What about the Lam kingdom and all them kingdoms throughout West Africa that are Israelite kingdoms, man? They had nothing to do with no fucking conversion. Just like he tried to bring up, that's another thing. He gonna try to bring up Tanzania and say, see, Tanzania was invaded. Yeah, they was invaded by the Arabs during the East African slave trade, and they ain't have nothing to do with no Israelites. The Israelites that live in Tanzania, that been here for over 3,000 years, they weren't converted. These people are saying that they migrated from the Levant to Tanzania to Mount Kilimanjaro. Facts, man. Facts. We got video. We just did a recent video. My sister-in-law gonna put it up there where we had a tribal chief break down a whole story, breaking down how they were that the Israelites, man, and a lot of the elders in Tanzania is dying off that still teach these oral traditions, man. This is a fact, man. This dude is playing a bunch of games. They're not talking about Kemet over here, man. They're not trying to follow no Kemetic school of thought. Even when you look at the United States Constitution, it's all predicated on the scripture. That shit ain't predicated on the Perrin Road. You can't even read the Medu Neter. The Medu Neter, they're not reading the Medu Neter, they're reading about the Medu Neter. And furthermore, there were different dialects within the so-called Egyptian paradigm. So how we know if they really speaking that shit or not? We really don't know that. Why? Because some Europeans came up with that. And then you kill me, Tahuti, when you tell me don't bring up no Greeks. But when me and my wife was being interviewed by you before we repatriated back to Africa, I see you was pulling out them Wallace Budge books on Egyptian language and on Egyptian history and on the Book of the Dead. You was using Wallace Budge. That's one of your favorite scholars in translation. You using Wallace Budge. Come on, why won't you use what's the brother's name? Wajid, what's his name? That's with the Amin Ra squad. Why you don't use Asar Imhotep translations? Why don't you deal with Wuja or any of them? Why you don't deal with they translations? Why you dealing with Wallace Budge? Who you think you talking to? Sitting back trying to make it seem like, oh, we can't defend our scholarship. Man, I'm putting you in a hole. That's what I'm doing to you. You know what I mean? Because I knew that Western Egyptian academia cannot stand the test of time of oral tradition. What you think oral tradition is just people just telling a random story and that's it? No, oral tradition is not based on that. There's a discipline method that comes with that. Okay, if oral tradition isn't reliable, how is it that the Dogons were able to orally transmit the story of how to navigate and follow the star Sirius for thousands of years, and they just recently codified it in writing form, Europeans, less than 100 years ago? and it's being and their scientific sightings through oral tradition has proven through astronomers as being factual and 100% accurate. But they was telling these oral traditions for thousands of years, Tahuti. But you say you don't accept oral tradition. So you mean to tell me you don't accept your ancestors, my brother? Why? Because we saying that the Torah was oral and then written down later on. So that being the case, if it was written down later on, you can't use a facsimile to try to debunk oral tradition. Body bag, beyond body bag. And anybody that know exactly what I'm saying know that you can't do that. The whole argument that he was given was a fallacy. Because the people in the audience, some of the people in the audience don't understand how to debate and what they can debate about. They ran with it. So you got a bunch of people saying, I beat the pre-debate. Some people saying he beat the pre-debate. But if you really watch it, even though it's a pre-debate, I bodied dude. It was real easy. And I'm sitting up there like, you really, I don't have my PowerPoint on me, but you really want me to show you some images? And some, if I'm telling you where to go, I don't have this information at hand. But if I'm giving you the sources, you can type that shit right online. Just like I gave Elder Qanath the sources, he typed it right online and pulled it up. So why are you playing these games as if you couldn't do the same thing? No, what you wanted to do is you gave the audience this mind state as if what I was saying couldn't be proven.
Hey, Prince, can I play something for you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Can I play something for you? All right, here we go. Here we go right here, Prince.
Yep, sure you can.
I want everybody to listen up and listen up good. Listen up and listen up good. It'd only be fair if he was come on so y'all can chop it up a little bit before you go to his channel. That Killer Priest one time at Killing on Trial. That's a nice brother, man, and I love his platform. Beautiful. I like what he's doing over there. But let's see, can we speed this up? I want everybody to see this. Okay, give it a few seconds. Is it twirling around on your side? You see the okay. Listen up. This on our F.O.P.E channel, on Yehuda channel. Listen up. More by Stone.
Get on. Oh, there's some alphabets on it too.
That's our brother Lee Cummings. F.O.P.E.
Right. They put this. Now look right here. See what it says? It says Ali, Misha, Mem, Shem, and Misha. And what he's saying is, he was trying to see that he was born, that he was king of Lord. This side of this side. You see this right here? Yeah. That's the meal, Gad. Okay. Gad. And then there's a place down here where it says, let's deal with what we can read. It says, born Misha. It says, at Balaam, and Balaam. He's having a little conversation here. He talks smack to him. And then he says,
now, what you think about that so far with the professor breaking out right there on Moabite Stone? But I thought there's no evidence. That's in America.
I know, and man.
By the way, look at the people.
First, I'll give a shout out to Professor Lee Cummings. You know what I mean? That's a close brother of ours. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, he's showing improvement. Matter of fact, rewind that again one more time. If the listening audience didn't see it, let them see it again. Rewind that.
This is Gad. G-A-D. Yeah. That's Camille Dalet. That's Gad. Okay. And then there's a place down here where it says, let's deal with what we read. He says, born Misha. Music at Balaam, B, Bet, and Balaam. Just having a little conversation. He talks back too. And then he says Gad. This is Gad, G-A-D. Yeah. And then this is Gad, which is like slang for Israel. So be raised up. And here, if you go back to the original, it's Adarak. You can still see it on here. But he's talking about Gad, Adarak. Then he says MLK King. You come back around here. Okay. See what it says King? Yeah. MLK is King. Then you come back to the next line. It's Yisrael. S-H-R-E-L, which means that the Yah was cut off up here. Okay. So they're talking about the King of Israel.
Uh-oh.
This is document that dates back probably on 722 BC that mentions Israel. The God you cannot see over here. They talk in Spanish, they talk about a war down in Baccarat. Then it says Misha and Arel. DWD is David. So it's talking about what really what said is,
you let that slide past you. It said David Prince.
I know. Listen, Paul. Now remember what I read earlier. Listen, stop that. Stop the video. Now remember I read earlier in my notes how they seen how King Misha was fighting King Omri, and then you see on line 18 the creator's name. And then years later, they re-examined it and found David's name in it. Now, I never seen this video. And we got Professor Lee Cummins. That's our brother. Shout out to Prince Asiel Ben Yisrael, our international ambassador, prime minister, who introduced me to Professor Lee Cummins. Then in turn, passed that on to Elder Qanath, and them two are very close. Professor Lee Cummins and Elder Qanath. And we could clearly see David is being mentioned because Professor Lee Cummins knows Paleo-Hebrew. So you can't say this is fake and this, that, the third and the fourth and the fifth. But I just said that, and he's confirming what I said. And as we continue on, I want to read a quotation called Indigenous Egyptology, the decolonization of a profession. Come on, man. They don't want no smoke. I'm trying to tell you, you don't really want no smoke from me for real. We playing games. I'm over here building, just like you try to compare us to the so-called Jehovah's Witnesses. So somebody asked, do I have a website, right?
Right.
I'm going to show you what we doing. I'm going to show you what we doing. I'm going to show you what we about. We ain't about just building no farms and all that. He tried to say, oh, the Jehovah's Witnesses is doing it. Fuck Charles Russell. And fuck Joseph Smith and Brigham Young's racist asses. You want to try to compare us? We over here creating a theocratic sovereign government. And you talking about some goddamn Jehovah's Witnesses, man? Jehovah's Witnesses against Ben Ami, Prince Asiel, the late Prince Dr. Shaliach Ben Yahuda, original dean of the School of the Prophets Institute in Dimona, Israel, Northeastern Africa, prior to the excavation of the Suez Canal, 1859 to 1869. That was all landlocked. They didn't start calling the Middle East until World War II correspondence in 1945, brother. Who you think you talking to, man? They got me fucked up. I wanted you trying to put me out there. You putting yourself out there. You put yourself out there by putting your information. Say what?
I said, you got to bring him over here. They went in your lines there, man. Y'all
got to what, my lord?
Y'all, you got to bring Tahuti on the
I'm gonna bring him
for at least 30, 40 minutes, man. So it'd be fair, you know.
Yeah, I'll get him. Yeah, I talked to him and
He promised me he was
let
going to
him
come over
come
here too.
through.
So now he got
You know what I mean? I feel as though bring him over. And that's not, get this twisted. That's my brother. Me and him, we tight, we close, but we spoiling right now. This about scholarship. But in that pre-debate, he was being disrespectful towards the Hebrew Israelite community. Even when you actually listen to the debate the pre-debate when I first came on, he was up there huffing and puffing when I was talking, making all kinds of noises, getting up, being disrespectful, laughing, joking, playing all these games. I thought this was about the redemption of our people. That's what I'm saying. These guys ain't really about the redemption of our people on no level like that. They just trying to debate and say, see, I beat somebody. You could never beat me in the debate. Because I already know where your standpoint, just like you tried to say, you can't prove all these millions of years. You don't even know what I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with the Bereshit code with the Yuga cycles. You got the golden age, the silver age, the bronze age, and the iron age. And with that faggot devil Max Mueller did in the 1900s, first he created the Aryan race invasion myth, when in fact the original Aryans were black, which in fact Aryan only means noble ones. It was a part of a caste system in the Indus Valley. Anybody that knows history knows this. Kemet is a colony, or put it like this, pre-Kemet is a colony of the Nagas of the Indus Valley from Tamil. Go look it up. Matter of fact, while you on here real fast, Elder Qanath, can you go online real quick and ask what language does Naga come from? N-A-G-A. I bet you it's a Sanskrit word that means serpent people. And if you hear everybody saying Naga this, Nigas that, they actually speak in Sanskrit. That proves that Kemet was a colony, or pre-Kemet, better yet. Because anybody with Tahuti is talking about is post-Diluvian, meaning he's talking about the descendants of Ham. I'm talking about civilizations that existed before Ham was even born. You're talking about, there's people that already was occupying that land before the descendants of Cam or Ham was born. And don't try to say, oh, Ham is made up. How do you say Chem? What's the root word of Kemet? Cam, Ham, it's the same thing. In our culture, it means hot or heated. Why? Because the children of Cam would live in the hottest part of the equator. The hottest part in Africa near the equator. So come on, man. So playing these games, thinking we don't have scholarship. I'm just showing you. Yeah, N-A-G-A. And remember, I told you I only use Western academia as a comparative study. You think I believe in everything they say? I'm not saying that the artifacts ain't real. What I'm saying to you is that their chronologies is misplaced, and the way that they create in the historical frame is based on white supremacy, and the empty spaces that there isn't any historical reference. The goddamn devil make it up and y'all run with it. Where's your methodology? My methodology is Hebrew Israelite sovereign nationalism. I developed that. Hebrew cosmogenesis, Hebrew anthropogenesis, understanding ancient archaic Hebrew symbolism. I developed that. The Mighty Hebrew Israelite sovereign nationalistic research team. The Mighty Hebrew University. You can go to tmhu.org. It is an accredited university. Y'all ain't got that. You got to look at what they try to do. They try to clown us as Hebrew Israelite sovereign nationals. And then you're going to say, well, I'm not going to let my children go to any place where they make cartoon figures. Come on, man. Why you didn't go inside the website? He don't want to go because it's actually two parts of the website. The basic part where the common people can go, and then if you enroll, then you can actually go inside to get your syllabus and the courses. Come on, man. I got students right now that's doing their courses right now. Give a shout out to Brother Rob, General. There is brothers and sisters that is inside the Mighty Hebrew University that's doing, right now we in Hebrew cosmogenesis right now. That's where we at right now. I got over 20 students that enrolled in the Mighty Hebrew University. You know what I'm saying? And I got thousands of students all over the world. So this guy that's sitting up here, he just come out of nowhere. You know, he been around in his own immediate community, but I'm talking about making an international impact. Hebrew Israelite sovereign nationalism is all over the world, man.
Well,
so
Prince,
for him to try to,
quick, Prince. real quick, man. Sorry, real quick, because I done a I don't know, commentary or whatever. I always talk about references, right? Or a reference, or a background check. You know, if dealing with scholarship, and I always go to ask this question: who is your teachers? So
you didn't just do that. You didn't just do that. You didn't just do that. Yeah, who is your teachers? Keep going. Keep going. Who is your teachers? Because I'm about to show you something. Who is your teachers?
I'll let you go ahead, because I just opened the door a little bit, because
what I'm gonna do is, since you did it, I'm gonna send you a link piece by piece. The leadership in order. Are you ready? Are you ready, my brother? Because you clearly said leadership, right? Go inside, go to that link right there I just sent you. That's the first link. Go to that link and pull it up. Since you said leadership.
Yeah, I know. Already.
You said leadership. That's what you said.
Right.
So I'm looking at 1896. I'm looking at my homie Prophet William S. Crawley. That's who I'm looking at right now, right? We're going to look at this chain of command. Prophet William S. Crawley. Ain't that deep? Are you pulling it up, my elder?
Yes, sir. Give me a second. Yes, sir.
I'm going to send these to you one by one, because I showed you who they daddies were.
Go ahead.
You say what, my brother? No, I'm showing who our daddies is versus who they daddies is. Okay. William Sanders Crawley was born in St. Mary's County, Maryland on August 11, 1847. He was a slave that knew he was an Israelite. Man. William S. Crawley, brother. William S. Crawley. Y'all see the picture. I know my phone kind of like, you know what I mean? Because I ain't got my computer on me right now. But look, there you go right there. Let's go to the next person, because his joy taking too long.
I got it up if you want to see it. There it is.
Yup, absolutely. You got it up. It's spinning. All right, I just needed to pop in, and then I'm going to send you the next. Yup, go to his picture. Show the people his picture. Show the world who this brother is, and I'm going to send him to you one by one. And Qanath, there go the brother right there. What you talking about? Where your leaders at? We showing you our leaders. We showing you a chain of command of leaders. Now watch this. The next one, that William S. Crawley, I just sent it to you. The next one, he took William S. Crawley's place. He was ordained by William S. Crawley, which is Chief Bishop Joseph Crawley. He was the active leader of the Tabernacle of William S. Crawley from 1908 to 1917. There you go right there. That's our leaders. Where your leaders at? Where your leaders at? I want to see your leaders. You talking crazy. You want to give us Egyptology, but you ain't got no leaders to show. What leaders ever went back to Egypt as repatriation? Here go the next one. Here go the next one coming to you. Now this is in chronological order. A chain of command. Teachers from William S. Crawley. Could this be Bishop William H. Plummer? Active leader from 1917 to 1931? No, it can't be. Look, these were Israelite leaders that were former slaves, man. What are you talking about? Where your leaders at? We showing you ours. Where yours at? Where your Israelite leaders at? Here come the next one coming to you, Elder Qanath. You can keep this for your record. So you can add this for your record. Let's talk about Elder Calvin Skinner, active leader of 1931. from out of that same Israelite movement through William S. Crawley. Where your leaders at? But you want to talk about Israelites? Are you crazy, man? You done lost your mind. Huh? He lost his mind. And that's okay. We've all lost our minds in the past. So
there
now, let's go to, yep, it's coming. Now let's go to Rabbi Howard Z. Palmer, 1931 to 1975. Praise Yahweh. Praise Yahweh. What you talking about? Where your leaders at? Our leaders coming down the motherfucking pipe. Where yours at? I ain't seen none yet. But I know you was a follower. I know you, yeah, look at him. There you go, right there. What you talking about? I know you a follower of Dr. Malachi Z. York, or you was. I just sent you the next one. Look at that. The next one is who? The next one is who? Rabbi Levi S. Palmer, 1975, and he retired in 2001. What you talking about? This is a straight chain of command, baby, of Israelite leaders, man. But you want to focus on Kemet. You ain't got no leaders. Who your leaders, man? Huh?
Well, actually, he does. And I send that to you because sometimes, well, let me say this. We all sometimes regurgitate, and sometimes people deal with plagiarism. So sometimes people need to be careful who they quote without giving credit and claim it as their own. This is a very dangerous thing to do.
Well, here, right here, this right here is Rabbi. Okay, here go Rabbi Jehu A. Crawley. Here you go, right here. Look, he got the whole Levitical. Look at it. Look at his gear. The whole Levitical breastplate. Look, man. This is what we doing. Look at that. That's one of our leaders from, he led the William S. Crawley movement from, because I think he had passed away. Yeah, he had passed away. From 2001 to 2016, he ran that, right? And then here go the next one. Yeah, there you go. Look at that, Israel. Listen, this is a chain of leaders from William S. Crawley to today, man. Let's see who the lead. This is a joke. These guys is a joke. They can't approve. They don't have no chain of command like that in the Afrocentric world. They don't. Passing down from leader to leader. Look, this is the active leader right now. Chief Rabbi Philip M. McNeil, active leader, 2016 to present. There you go, right there. What you talking about? Where your leaders at? And let's go even deeper. Let's show you how deep this shit get. You ever heard of a prophet by the name of Prophet Enoch? Well, let me show you a picture of him. Here you go, right here. If you have the break your whole break his whole cipher. Break his whole destroying. Watch. Now watch this. Now look. Now Prophet Enoch, right? Let me give y'all a brief synopsis about this powerful man. Back in 1906, from Lawrence, Kansas, headquarters of William S. Crawley was transferred to South Philadelphia, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. To this day, the oldest Hebrew Israelite school in the United States still stands there. It's known as the Tabernacle. It's on Broad and Lombard Street in South Philly. Today, a man by the name of Elder Moses Farrar, he wrote a book called The Deceiving of the Black Race. He also wrote a book called A Non-Christian's Response to Christianity and many other books. He runs the school today. He's an understudy of the late Rabbi Wentworth A. Matthews. Remember, Matthews, all of them come from under Crawley. Now, what I wanted to explain to you is in 1906, William S. Crawley met an Israelite from South Africa named C.M. Mason, Bishop C.M. Mason. You could type him up right now if you want, Elder Qanath. Bishop Charles M. Mason, and then you type in William S. Crawley with it, and it'll come up. He ordained C.M. Mason to go throughout Africa in search of the, the lost tribes of Israel throughout South Africa and Central Africa. Okay. And if you go into Africa, you'll find all these African Zionist churches. They're all the off branches of William S. Crawley. C.P. Mason started teaching that the Israelites in America were the Israelites all throughout Africa, and dealt with certain Israelite tribes such as the Zulus and others, and started teaching that they were the Israelites. Okay, so then there was a man by the name of Enoch that rose from out of that and off branch and created what was known as the Torah-keeping Hebrew Israelites. Back in 1921, they had a compound in South Africa in Johannesburg, and he was teaching Torah. They wore garbs and turbans. They had their own compound. They was keeping the Shabbat, all the holy feasts. At this time in South Africa, there was a general by the name of General Smuts. He wanted them to leave from the compound, but the Israelites wouldn't leave. So the South African army came down and warred against these Hebrew Israelites in 1921. At the end of the war, 163 Hebrew Israelites were murdered, and you also had, were killed some soldiers. And to this day, what they call it the Bernhardt Massacre. This is in South Africa. This is way before some goddamn people start talking about the Kemet. You see how powerful the influence of Israelites were in America and how we spread it all over the world. Do you not see the chain of command of Hebrew Israelite leaders from William? I'm talking about an unbroken chain from William S. Crawley from 1896 to today. Now, show us in your Kemetic school of thought that y'all got a chain of Kemetic leaders that came out of slavery to now saying y'all Kemetic. I bet y'all can't do that.
Hey, Prince, I can have the brothers I interviewed in South Africa. We talk about heritage where they actually have where they practice without the Bible, the holy days, the circumcision.
Right.
All this.
Right.
We actually interviewed them. So don't in the debate. If you need them on deck, let me know.
Okay. Well, I'm about to show you something right now. I just sent you a couple websites. I want you to show the family real quick, and then I'm gonna leave because I have to go deal with the family. But I want you to show on your screen real fast these websites, because it's very important that the family get these websites. Okay. One is called the Bantu branch of Africans or Hebrew Israelites, part 1 and 2. You got Door Return, and then you got the East African Israelites of the Zany land. Yeah, show the family that. Yup, it's in your inbox, and I'm gonna close out on my end because I think brother Daquan has a presentation to do too, correct?
Yeah. So I gotta at least get a half an hour rest.
Right.
Well, let me type this in. Hold on.
You see it. I sent it to you. And I want you to see, like, these websites, a lot of people don't know about in Israel. But if Israelites study these 4 main sites that I sent, they be unstoppable when it comes to the history, because the historical evidence is so jam-packed, and it'll impact the soul, man. I'm telling you, it's no escape. We Israel. We ain't no fucking Canadians, man. Period, man. They were our enemies in ancient times. And you trying to bring them to the table like they us. That's why, if you notice, they hold that spirit of our enemies. That's why their whole objective is to destroy Israel. It's never to try to bring us up. It's always to tear us down. Like he tried to, I'm not gonna say belittle, but he tried to like undermine what we doing over here in Africa. Why? Because you not doing it? Like, come on, stop that. I ain't never undermined nothing that man done. He tried to, I ain't attack his belief system and all that. And then he gonna lie and say, I challenged him to a debate. No, you challenged me to a debate, brother. Like, let's make it clear. You can't fuck with me, man. He could have been set up because, what you think I don't know about Qanath, brother? Like, I already know. Listen, man, that's my brother, Killer Pre. I'm not even going to say that. But what I am going to say is, what you think I don't know about Qanath? What you think I don't know about Sheikh Amti Diop?
I'm just being facetious.
What you think I don't know about Dr. Ben? What you think I don't know about Obanga? What you think I don't know about Chancellor Williams? And all these, and what you think I don't know about Ashwat Kwesi? What you think I don't know about Ashanti, Malata Karenga? You think we don't know about these people? Most of them is fucking FBI informants, man. That help to destroy the Black Panther Party and others. Come on, man, don't do that. Think I don't know about Dr. York, man? Malachi Z. York, Iman Issa. That was your master teacher, and he started the Nubian Islamic Hebrews in Bushwick, New York. He ain't never have a problem saying that the Hebrews was black. You need to resurrect your teacher from out of the prison, wherever he's at, okay, and ask him, are we the Hebrews? Because you know right now, you know, he up there writing books saying that the Hebrew, that he shouldn't have never even cursed the power of the Bible. You do know that, right? You do know that he's trying to, you know that Dr. Malachi Z. York in prison talking about we the Hebrews. You do know that though, right? But you want to sit up here and try to make it seem as though we don't know what we're talking about. Give a shout out to our Hebrew Israelite brother, Eddie Griffin. You know what I'm saying? He know who he is. Give a shout out to our Hebrew Israelite brother, Dark Low. You know what I mean? Keep your head up during your little fad time. You know, he got out of that Islam, you know what I'm saying? And no disrespect, you know, to Islam or anything like that. But that ain't, you know, he regains his heritage. Because I got family members in my family that's Muslim. So I'm not here to disrespect anybody's beliefs. You know what I mean? I was born a Muslim. You know what I'm saying? I was born into Islam.
They won't let me bring it up.
It's all good. You got the links, you know what I mean? And anybody don't want to go to my website, because I ain't got enough time right now, they can go to tmhu.org. Whoever want to enroll in the Mighty Hebrew University, y'all can enroll. We're not going to talk about Kisef because on our side, it's the Shabbat. You know what I'm saying? But I just want the family to know I got this covered. Y'all ain't even got to worry about that. Nobody ain't got to worry about, he's already bodied. He's already done. Because he tried to use a facsimile to argue oral tradition. You can't do that. Anybody that knows how to navigate as a historian, no, that was a fallacy. Y'all hear what I'm saying? So y'all ain't got to worry about that. And Terry, you ain't got to worry about me. I got this bull. This is a piece of fucking cake. You know what I mean? and you know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Like, this is like, y'all might think he's sharp, but if y'all really watch it, he's not really sharp as y'all think. Listen, only reason why it seems like Qanath has a lot It's because that was the most researched spot. Because whoever controls the artifacts of Egypt with white supremacy controls life. That shit is white supremacy, man. That shit is white supremacy. Even when you hear him make the statement talking about, yes.
No, wait, I just want to show you one more jewel, man. Then I'm let you close it out because I got to run. I want to play one more.
Yep, go ahead.
Thing here. Let me see something. Hold on. I think, okay, yeah. I want everybody to listen up. Even the white man makes fun of this shit. Check this out, brothers and sisters.
On line 5, I found the word Larsi. Larsi. Who can tell me what Larsi is? It's Israel spelled backwards, meathead Larry. I forget. You go from right to left. Yeah.
Y'all heard that? It's Israel spelled backwards, and you go from right to left. Right?
Right.
It's right there on the Moabite stone. Let me see.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just trying. This right here, we open up with that. It just killed it already. So I don't know. He might run from you after this. I hope not, man. I hope he come on here and do a pre-debate on Israelite Channel 2. It's only fair, you know. And Yehudi, Tahuti know me. He said he had a lot of respect for me. You know, he actually said it in the video, and I got a lot of respect for him too. You know, I like his little get up. You know, but I ain't put no tarantula on my damn head. You know,
right.
I don't know what.
Yeah. And then, and look, and
Larsi, right there. You come up here after class.
See this text from back there where you are. On line 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we have Ermo. Okay. Again, falling into my same little pitfall, Ermo would be King Omri.
Yeah, so not Omri. And then the most significant part of this whole thing. Well, we read line 1. Okay.
Misha, Mim Shin Hay, Ben, Bet,
Yod,
Nun. Ben means son. I heard someone say it. So Ben Ami would be son of Ami. Benjamin, son of Jamin, whoever Jamin is. And all kinds of Bens. A lot of. Say again. Ben Elohim. Exactly. Sons of God. The name for the rank of angels that are down there with that group. And most of the ones that are typically into the bad stuff were in that category. Yeah, the Genesis chapter 6 stuff talks about the Ben Elohim. Coming on down to line 18. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Watch this, brothers and sisters.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We have right here a Yod, a Hey, a Vav, and a Hey. Yod, Hey, Vav, Hey. What are we spelling? Yahweh. We have the name of the God of Israel. And that is about our presentation on stone. I've got a couple more images here showing.
Let me pause that. You see that, Prince? Now, what are you going to say about that? That's on the Moabite stone.
Kang.
That's on the Moabite stone right there.
Listen. I want you to close out with one of my new songs off my album. Type in the Mighty Hebrew, Mind, and it all pop up.
Is it on YouTube or Google? Where I go?
Yeah, you can Google it. It's on Spotify. It's on Amazon. It's on Pandora. My album's all over the world. It's everywhere. Type in the Mighty Hebrew, Mind, which is the acronym for mental is never destroyed. You know what I mean? Let the people feel the heat. Let them feel the heat before we leave from. And now this is light work. This is real light work. When y'all see my PowerPoint, y'all gonna be like, damn, that's all y'all. Listen. The PowerPoint is crazy, man. Like he gonna be so overwhelmed. Like, yo, just like, oh, I do got to give y'all this jewel before I go. As he's pulling that up, remember he said that Atlantis came from the Greeks. Y'all do remember that, right? And he was like gun-ho with that, like, and I already showed y'all earlier that was a lie, right? So what I have here is like a chronological table of different nations, starting from 470 AD or ACE, going all the way back 4000 BCE, talking about this. And what I'm gonna do, right? I'm gonna show y'all real quick, right? I'm gonna show y'all the power and pre-Platonic ancient writings on Atlantis, right? And see, it sounds good because here it is right here. I want to read something to y'all. Now remember, Plato, right? That's because remember, yeah, man, that was created by Plato, man. So Plato came 350 BCE with the Ptolemies, right? Where Plato relates the now familiar story of Atlantis and its final destruction by earthquakes, floods, and, subsidence, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. So then I'm like, who else spoke about, Atlantis before Plato? So I'm looking at 450 BCE Herodotus and his histories, right? And he speaks about the ocean now called the Atlantic. He calls it Atlantis Sea. And then he speaks about a tribe called the Atlanteans living in North Africa. And you know who else exposed that? You can find that in chapter 5 in Babylon to Timbuktu by Professor Rudolph R. Windsor. Then we can go to 590 BCE to Solon, right? And he speaks about Atlantica. And Solon begins his epic poem about Atlantica, which is based on the story of Atlantis he had gotten from the priests at Salis, Egypt. Then you go to 600 BCE. We have the Mahabharata of the Qanath that describes a 10-year war at the end of which, and some people, they translate it as 10-year or mistranslate. It's really 10,000. So when the brother was like, oh, show us the 10,000-year war. Well, that's it right there. At the end of which the island of Atala or Patala is destroyed. Then we got Hesai, we got Homer, we got the Phoenician history where they call the ancient king gods of former times Atlantean kings. Gives the Phoenicians legends of Thorf and Cronus and Atlas and all them. Then you got the Turian papyrus or the king's list of 1300 BCE, which the list of the 10 god kings whose reign over the foreign country ended. They got 9850 BCE. We say 9564 BCE. Then we got the Vishnu Puranas up 2000 BCE, and I showed y'all that earlier, right? I'm gonna skip some because I don't want everybody to see all that, but I'm gonna give y'all one more source: the Egyptian Book of the Dead. The Book of Coming Forth talks about King Thorf ruled the island in the west, which was destroyed by water and brought the surviving rulers eastward to Egypt. Come on, man. Cut it out, man. I want you to play, play Pop Pop for the family. Play the song. Matter of fact, no. Play Pop real quick. Play that. Play Pop. Yeah, and turn it up. And turn it up, baby. This off the album My Mental Is Never Destroyed. Let's get it.
Oh, wait a minute. Saying I got to download app. Wait a minute. Hold up.
You got to download app.
Yeah. I don't want nobody. Wait a minute.
He said, I don't want nobody.
Is it on YouTube?
Yeah, it's on YouTube Music. Yup, it's on YouTube
I don't
Music.
want to put nothing on. Let me try that.
All right, so this is what you do. Matter of fact, let's give them a taste. Go to Killer Priest Podcast real quick. I'm going to tell you the number to go to Killer Priest Podcast on YouTube.
Is he going to flag my video?
From there.
Is he going to flag it?
Damn. I doubt it if you just playing that little part with the music. No. Because it's my music. No, he's not going to flag it.
Okay.
Priest not going to flag you. He not going to do that. That would be corny. He would have to flag you. And I don't see him doing anything like that.
No, me either. But
hold up, let me get you the number. Say what?
Okay, hold on. I'm trying to find it now.
All you gotta do, just type in Killer Priest Podcast.
And everything pop. Okay, wait a minute. There it is. Killer Priest versus Mighty Hebrew. It's gonna open up with your song.
No, it's not. I'm taking you to the number. What? Yeah, I heard you. No, it's not. I'm taking you to the number. Hold on. Start at, Elder, start at 5 hours and 38, 5:38:51. Start there. 5:38:51. Start there. They're not gonna play the whole song. They're gonna play 2 songs, but they're not gonna play the whole songs. And they're gonna do it back to back. So altogether, it's no more than less than 5 minutes. You there, Elder? They're like, Elder ain't even there. Where Elder Qanath go? Did he leave us? Elder Qanath. I don't know. It looked like he fell off the screen. He'll be back. So I'll hold it down for a few minutes until, he come back on. But again, giving all praise and honor to Yahweh, the supreme, intelligent, powerful one of our forefathers, Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. It's definitely an honor and a privilege to be on here with the family. Hallelujah. So I want y'all to get ready. We are definitely going to have a banging debate. Give a shout out to Tahuti Again, this ain't personal, but it is personal because this is about the redemption of our people. You know, this ain't about a feel-good moment and we saying we comedic and that's it, and you know, and we get some crystals and no, man, them days is over. Oh, there you go. There go the elder. You back, elder?
Yeah, I'm trying to get this for you. I think I might have it now. Hold tight.
Yeah, it's 5:38:51.
Okay, hold on.
That's where you start at. And let the people feel it. This song is called, that's going to be coming on, it's called Pop Pop. And then the next song is called Black Rain. So let the people feel it, but they're not playing this whole songs. They're just letting you get a taste of what the mighty Hebrew is bringing to the people. It's spinning now. I see it spinning now, trying to come up. And y'all see our flag right there? That's our Hebrew Israelite sovereign nationalistic flag. Okay, here we go. You at the number?
You say 5:38?
Yup, 5:38. Yup, bring it to 5:38. Because you can see the numbers right there. So just take it to 5:38. 5th hour, 38, and just start there. Just let it play for a few minutes. Now they're going to be playing 2 songs back to back right there. Yup. You can start it right.
Shirt on, man.
I hear it. Okay.
Leave it there.
He was very. He sounded like he'd been hip hop artist for 20 years. He sounded like.
They stay there.
He sounded like a real hip hop artist. That song.
Yeah, my internet connection is real bad for whatever reason now. So who did you call YouTube? Stop him! Stop him! He's destroying me. No,
Yeah, Kazodi. Yeah, more.
He's
Yo,
What do you say? He's what?
that's why I want to hear more.
Yeah, more. We're gonna hear more.
Yeah.
Yo, some cats you just know when they know how to rhyme. Like you said. That was good music.
This video is fair use.
Good job.
Yeah, good video on that shit.
And is none other than Voltage Controller. And this track features MF Doom. It's called Old Volt Station.
No, you gotta fast forward just a little bit. You gotta go to 5, because after him, then I come on. After him, I come on. So yeah, you gotta fast forward that.
Okay, after him.
So you going to 5:38. That's the number.
Damn.
Because that's the only way I can get you to play it. So you go to 5:38. Yup, 5:38. Like if you had like Pandora or something like that, or Amazon, whatever the case may be. But it's the I know it's the internet is like funny, but it's 5:38. That's where you want to be at. But if not, don't even worry about it. Just somebody said that he put the link in the chat. Mikael, he said something about Mikael said he put the link in the chat.
I don't see it.
I think he said he put the link in the chat, but you may have to download. I don't see it neither. He said he put, yeah, it's on YouTube. He said it's on YouTube. Yeah, it's on YouTube Music. You got YouTube.
Yeah, but I'm just
it's on YouTube
right now.
Music.
We're breaking up, and it's just bad connection.
But I don't know.
So I'm gonna give it a couple more minutes. But don't play. What we'll do on my next live, if I got your permission, I'll just go ahead and play it. few of them on my next live, probably tonight or tomorrow for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. You got my permission.
Okay, let's see.
You got my permission. But yo, the album is selling all over the world.
I went too far up, didn't I?
Yeah. So you going back. It's 538. It's 538.
Right, that's what I just did.
538, my brother. Yeah, go to 538. Because you too far back. You almost there, but your reception is acting a little funny. Damn.
My reception is horrible.
I know. It's all good. Yup. And I don't want to play it through just this phone. They need to actually hear that.
Everybody we had a good show.
We definitely had a great show.
Information that the brother put out. You know.
I hear something.
Get this to
pop. I think it's coming. It look like something trying to come. What number you got it on? You got it on 538? Okay, it's popping up. Okay, yup. There I go right there because they on my way. You see they on there. Yup. So press the Just play, let it play from there.
Okay.
Just let it play from there.
Gotcha.
Just let it play. Oh, it's going in now.
At home or interested in submitting your tracks,
just let it play. Don't
your MP3s,
let it,
your videos.
Just let it play.
Go ahead and
because they're gonna play the next song.
So you can submit your tracks right there, and the link is in the description. So check that out. KillerPreach.tv/song promo, and then we'll play it on the next episode.
Yo, AJ.
AD.
I mean AD. Excuse me, I'm thinking about AD. One more song, AD.
Of course. Which one?
And then we gotta play. We gotta
play Rain. Play Rain.
All right, here we go.
Yeah. I'm on Jack. We're building. That's how we gonna do it.
Who's it to be?
Cyclopic fire, set apart lava, demolish on Easter Island image. Untarded 5 million incarnated children, flying it was written with Nazis pen, fallen sovereigns in concrete jungle buildings, creature of the law, strong ones stand tall to a wheelchair crawling, flatliners lose mind power, conscious talisman, shining the Charlotte, vibrational comments to conquer violence, hip-hop, rise, b-boy stand, hold God's commandments, breaking doors, hammer, tears pop, you can't really hear it though. The show shock non-stop, rip. Lock in. Old school rockin' lottos, flex, effects. Who is the best architect on record? Who but the just the Elohim? It's your internet. So it's skipping. Who want this just the Elohim? And mentions. Philly Street. Rearrange your fame, fuck your dame. We pay for them niggas playing. 21 lions can't be tamed. Black rain, black times is changing. Black rain, a vision looks straight. Black rain,
who do you know what he got coming?
Strain on the brain. You gonna have to turn it off, Elder. Turn it off.
Martial artists.
Right. It's like.
Black rain,
I need the people to hear it. They can't hear it.
I'll break control. I'll break your fucking controlling on your face. I'll lose the scar. Play Jason.
Played.
You just got
that shit is loud.
To beast right there. The Wolverine right there, yo.
All right. So Most High. Hey, look, everybody know our brother, our dear brother.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
You know what I mean?
That's my art. Yo,
did you play that for Tahuti?
He's playing that for Tahuti. That's what I just said, right?
No.
You know what I mean? But yeah, man, this should be interesting, bro. This should be interesting.
I wish.
So I'm looking forward.
I'm sorry. I just want to apologize to the people. Y'all go get my album. Mind Mental is Never Destroyed. The album is crazy. You know what I'm saying? There's 12 tracks on there from the beginning to the ending, representing Israel, street conscious, hardcore. I got love song I dedicated to my wife called Itana. That's for the daughters of Zion. I ain't forget about the sisters in Israel. I got a song for y'all too. You know what I'm saying? So it's just banging, man. And I wish the people could have really heard, but you know our reception. But I love you, Elder. I'm out of here, man.
I love you too, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Most High bless. I hope everybody enjoyed the lesson. You know, brief presentation of the head chopper, the mighty Hebrew. You know what I mean? So he be chopping them heads, man. So, Tahuti,
man, you got
and all that fun, man. I don't know who head gonna roll. I got an idea who head gonna roll. I ain't seen nobody make the mighty Hebrew head roll yet. So, Tahuti, I asked you, my dear brother. He went over there on the Kemet side, right? Took it. Come over here on the Israelite side. Take it before the big debate. You know what I mean? Take it before the big debate. Come over here on the where his supporters at also. You know.
Right.
So, yeah, man. Most High bless. Thanks for coming on again. Somebody said Tahuti is done.
Absolutely. We love y'all.
What's your name? What's your name? Hey, I got an idea.
Love y'all. Hallelujah.
Hey, Prince, real quick. Prince, real quick. I got an idea. We should put a wager up. We need to know Tahuti real name.
Up?
The loser got to give up Tahuti. We want Tahuti real name.
What's the wager?
We want his master teacher. We want his master teacher and his real name. Bet on the side.
I know his last name. Yeah, we're gonna let that be. Give a shout out to Tahuti. Give a shout out to Tahuti. That's my brother. Me and him, we be busting it up. But you know, you came up against Israel in that pre-debate, and you was talking real crazy, man. And now I'm not even going to debate you on this. I'm not even going to debate you on my PowerPoint. I'm gonna teach you, man. I'm gonna do this totally different. When we do this so-called debate, I'm gonna teach you, man. You're gonna know that Hebrew Israelite sovereign nationalism has risen worldwide. Hallelujah. Shalom, Zaquin.
Shalom, shalom. Most High bless. Hey, I just saw my brother Uncle
Hallelujah. Shalom, shalom.
Hallelujah. Shalom, shalom. I just saw my brother Uncle Sug going. Y'all go purchase my brother book. Hey, I'm sorry, I'm not the best reader. I cannot read that name of that book. Buy this book, hypo, whatever. If the link is in the room, you can come on and tell us about your book real quick if you want to, Uncle Shug. Star, Lima, Most High bless you. Everybody on the comment board, man. King Judah, Mikael, Uriah, Bantu, brother and sister, Jared. Who else? All of y'all, man. Everybody, Most High bless y'all. Again, Uncle Sel, you want to come on and talk about your book real quick? You can. If not, man, Most High bless all of y'all. I may be back on a little later, going through some stuff here. So y'all pray for Qanath and the family, man.